This New York Knicks genius move just got even better. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul. This is Big Apple Sports. Tune in every day for the latest Knicks and Giants news, analysis, insights, whatever it is you want. This is the channel for you. So take just a quick second, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and maybe even get some alerts on because I got a lot more great Knicks and Giants content coming, and I think it's going to be a fantastic season for both of those teams. So don't miss out. Now, before we dive into this Knicks moves, take just a quick second, comment below. What's your favorite Knicks move of the offseason so far, and what move out there do you think the Knicks still need to make? Is there one of these free agents you want them to go for? Is there a big trade you think could happen? Let me know in the comments. I always want to hear from you. So now let's talk about one of my personal favorite moves of the offseason, and that was the Knicks signing Guerschon, Yabusele. These French names, I struggle with it a little bit. Guerschon Yabusele from the 76ers. Averaged, I think it was like 11 points and 5 rebounds per game last year. And he is in Eurobasketball right now, showing that the Knicks made a fantastic choice. So a couple days ago, he's the captain of the French team, and they took out Belgium, and he had a pretty solid showing in that one. And then he moved on earlier in one of the tune-up games today. He had a great showing against Giannis and the Greek team. You know, personally, I think Giannis, he was showing off a little bit for Giannis, like, hey, I'm a pretty good player. Come be my teammate. We'll see. And then last night, he and the French team took out Luka and the Slovenian team, and he and Luka actually even got into it a little bit at the end of the game. There was kind of a controversy where in the Eurobasket tournament, it matters your margin of victory. So at the end of the game, Luka went to shake hands with one of Guerschon's teammates, and the guy took off and laid it in for an extra point to increase their winning margin. Luka wasn't happy about it. Yabusele had his teammates back because he's a good teammate. But the big story from Eurobasketball here is that Guerschon has looked really good. Like, he's such a high-energy player. He's shot the ball pretty well. He's rebounded. He defends. I think in that game against Giannis, he had like 2 or 3 steals. And he just seems like he's going to be just a ball of energy coming off the Knicks bench. And frankly, they need that. Like last year, you look at the Pacers series and pretty much the Pistons series, the whole playoffs, like the Knicks did not get much off of their bench. You know, whether they started Robinson and Hart was on their bench or Robinson was on the bench, like that was generally the only guy coming off the bench who contributed on a consistent basis. And I think the hope this year is that with Guerschon and Jordan Clarkson, this is going to be a much deeper bench. They're going to have guys who can come in and score and bring in energy and defend, and it's going to be a much deeper team, and I'm super excited to see that. And then I think just listening to some of Guerschon's teammates from the Sixers talk about him just kind of shows what kind of a player the Knicks are getting. In an interview with Jared McCain, he talked about Guerschon as being one of the best people he's ever been around. Could go to him for anything. Just super nice, good person, fun to play with, great energy. So like you just see like guys who've played with Guerschon, you see it with his French teammates. There's a reason he is their captain this year, despite that being maybe the best team in Europe. It's like he's just the kind of guy you want on your team and the kind of guy who's going to get the team going. Like you always hear about like the glue guys who like are on these championship rosters, like your Shane Battier's or something like that. And I really think that Guerschon is going to be the Knicks glue guy, and he's just showing off right now in Euro basketball. And then just taking a look at the Knicks depth chart for this year, like it's going to be a much deeper team. Not only because of Guerschon and Jordan Clarkson, but I put out a video about Tyler Kolek and how he might get a little more run this year, and I think maybe Miles McBride can maybe be a little more consistent. And then, like I said, they might have another move coming. I think backup point guard is really where you're likely to see it. There's been some talk of Malcolm Brogdon recently. I know there's been some Ben Simmons, Russell Westbrook talk. I don't know if I'm super crazy about that idea. Malik Beasley is another guy who has been discussed with the Knicks. And then obviously there's been all sorts of trade speculation. So we'll see. I don't think the Knicks are done. I think they got one more guy that they're going to bring in to just really solidify this bench and make it a strength of the team rather than the biggest weakness. And I think this is absolutely the year the Knicks need to just go all in, even if they have to give up a future first in a trade to bring in a good sixth man. Like you see Alex Caruso for the Thunder, they had to give up a good young player in Josh Giddey to get him, but Alex Caruso played such a huge role for them. Like, even if the Knicks aren't bringing in another starter, they have to be willing to go all in and bring in another great guy on the bench to just really complete this team. Because no Tatum, no Halliburton. Like, the Knicks need to win the East this year. And I think they will, regardless of if they add another person. But if they want to beat the Thunder or the Nuggets or whoever comes out of the West, I think that's truly where they're going to need one more piece. So hopefully they get it done. And then in other Knicks news, I just had to take a quick second at the end of this video to shout out my guy Jeremy Lin, just retired from the NBA. I was in college during Linsanity, and it truly was like the most fun I think I've ever had watching basketball. Like, it was just absurd because he like came out of nowhere, and you see him, he drops like 25, 28, 23, and then he comes out and hangs 38 on Kobe Bryant. And like, I will never forget that game. It's like every time he would drop back to launch a three, you're just like, there's no way he's going to make it. And then he just swishes it in. It was awesome. That was truly some of the most fun I've ever had watching basketball. So shout out to Jeremy Lin. I'm glad he got a ring before he, was out of the NBA and playing in China or Taiwan. I forget. He might have played in both. But just seems like an all-around good guy and was so fun to watch. Brought some good times for the Knicks, even when things weren't exactly going the best. So congrats to him on retirement and a super fun career. And then Knicks fans, just take a sec on your way out. Hit the subscribe button, the like button. Lots more Knicks content coming, so don't miss out.